What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is December the 16th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, we did have a good amount of data already come out. So we had ADP employment coming in at 16.2 thousand, non-farm payroll for October, negative 105. For November, 64,000 forecasts right here. So better than anticipated in the November's case. And then we did have retail sales a little bit lower than the forecast, so 0% versus 0.2. And then unemployment came in line with expectations. So overall, market is kind of taking this as a very strong positive. Later today, we do have some flash data. So composite manufacturing and services, anything above 50 shows more of an expansion. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. Because of this recent data, the likelihood of a cut for the upcoming January 28th meeting did go up slightly from 22 to now 31%. This is exactly what the market wants to see, and right now the futures are moving higher because of that. So Dow is up 0.33, S&P up 0.25, NASDAQ up 0.2. Right now, Fear and Greed Index is under the neutral category, so in theory, people's appetite for risk is on the table. Getting right to it, SoFi is kind of flirting back and forth between red and green during the overnight. Things weren't doing too great, unfortunately. No news, no SEC filings from them. Regarding shorts, they are increasing about 2,000 shares, so they're definitely throwing the bank at SoFi. But 9.21% at the free floats being shorted, works out to be 114.15 million shares overall being shorted. With it right now at 25.70, trading between this S2 and this S3, 25.47, and then 26.09 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So kind of just watch for those. Moving on, NIO. So NIO is pulling back, and I think their technicals right now are breaking. So with it closing at 499, regrettably it did close below some of the key moving averages. So I think right now it's kind of moving a little bit lower because of that. There really hasn't been that much news associated to NIO. Shorts already are increasing 287,000 shares, 7.62% at the free floats being shorted, works out to be 155 million shares overall being shorted. With it at 497, I wouldn't say it's down and out just yet. It can easily get a nice little bump up. In reality, above, there's a couple key levels, 503, 504, that's linked to moving averages. From the fib levels, 506 and then 492. That's going to be the next strong support and resistance points. So for those of you that want a dollar cost average, swing trade, just kind of watch for a lot of these. Moving on, we have AMCI. No real news from them today, but rather just piggybacking off of yesterday's momentum, which caused it to go up 168%. I actually talked about it during the pre-market when it was at $3.67, and all I said is it needed to get and stay above this, or sorry, I guess it was at that 347 during the pre-market. So things really heated up very fast. So right now with that 1049, it is currently trading between this R3 and this R2. So 983 and 1116 is going to be the next strong support and target. Aside from that, shorts aren't really doing anything same as yesterday. This wasn't really working. It does show shares on loan being 521,000. That is quite a significant jump. So you can kind of see that shorts are very, very active. So stay tuned for more updates on this, most likely, because it is, well, yesterday it was most heavily traded during the pre-market. Today it was the most heavily traded during the pre-market. So it is fair to assume that this momentum is going to continue. So for those of you that want a dollar cost average swing trade, this stock will be a good one. Moving on, Rezolve. So this one is up 19.4%. I actually do cover this stock on my other channel, one of my other channels. It hasn't done that great recently. I think just a lot of negative sentiment, but they did put this out. So Rezolve AI shatters year-end expectations. December revenue expected to exceed 11 million ARR. Then ARR expected to exceed 200 million. So they did give very ambitious 2025 and also 2026 targets, but it looks as though they are hitting and going to exceed their 2025 targets. That's good. Market loves that, really moving it higher. So that's one thing that's really moving it. Shorts are increasing about 20,000 shares right now. 12.7% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 15.1 million shares. Shorts have really started to double down recently. So hopefully them confirming revenue for 2025, it will be maybe a natural deterrent. Get shorts off their back, at least momentarily. Right now with that 278, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 271 and then 231 is going to be support levels. 337, 401 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So just kind of watch for that. Rezolve is very volatile. This is why we see some very wide gaps between the fib levels. And then last but not least, this stock used to be popular like crazy. It used to be on my list all the time for squeezes, which it did actually move up on occasion. But this stock has been always heavily shorted and just suppressed. Operationally as well, things haven't really gone according to plan. But today it is up 25.27% because they did submit their quarterly earnings, Q2 earnings. That was done after hours. I believe those were very delayed, but good to see that they're kind of getting on top of that and submitting it. So it is up 25.27% so far. Shorts are increasing about 3,000 shares during the pre-market. 34.63% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 5.65 million shares. DTC 7.81. So that also does signal that shorts are very overextended with this stock. Because that does factor in the average volume in comparison to number of shares being shorted. So shorts most likely are going to be really throwing what they have at the stock to really suppress it. So don't be surprised if you see some extra volatility. With that 466 though, it is trading between this pivot and this S1, so 476, and then 545 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, and then 407 followed by 365 as support levels. So today, it looks like people's appetite for risk is improving, so a lot of the stocks I did bring up will be on point day trades. Let me know your thoughts on these. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.